Shalom. Welcome to today's edition of Rabbi Ron in the house. Digging in here again, Tree of Life Bible, Acts chapter 7. It tells us that Joseph there was sold into slavery by his very own brothers. What a horrible thing. Sold him into Egypt. But then what does it tell you? Yet, even though despite that happened, God was with him. Horrible thing. He's sold, treated like a piece of property, a thing, not a human being. Sold, another country, another people. Horrible thing. Yet the Bible tells us God was with him. God didn't stop it from happening. He didn't prevent it from happening. God allowed it to happen. But he said he was with them. This is what I see is often the case. Sometimes God delivers us. He stops us from getting into the trouble in the first place. But quite often, or times, things happen to us. We're here on earth. But with Joseph, God needed him in Egypt to fulfill the prophecy over his life, to fulfill the calling in his life. But in order to get to that place, there was a rough road in that journey, a dangerous road. But God says, I need to get you there to Egypt. It's going to be hard. But listen, I won't abandon you. I will go with you and be with you every step of the way. That's the beautiful truth of the scriptures. Stuff happens. And sometimes that's part of our journey. It's what helps shapes us and molds us and makes us into the person that God wants us to be. But God says, listen, when you're going through that stuff, when you're in school, when you're in work, when you're out on the playground, when you're out driving on the road, when you're out walking the streets, riding your bike, whatever it is, and sometimes it's a dangerous place, God says, I'll be there with you. It's something you need to experience to toughen you up. Jonathan Burness years ago in 1990 worked for me. He said, Ron, you need to get toughened up. You need to learn to share your faith and to do it in any circumstances, even amidst hostility. And so he says, I'm sending you to Jews for Jesus for their summer campaign. And for the month of July, I hit the streets. Orthodox Jews came out and abused me, cursed me out, spit on me. Every day they treated me like this. But God needed to toughen me up. But God didn't say, I won't just abandon you and leave you out on the streets. I'll be with you there. And he was. When that spit was coming, God would send a gust of wind, and the spit that was aimed for my face, a gust of wind would come at the last second and bring it down on my shirt. God says, I will never leave you or forsake you. I will always be with you. And so you'll be out on the streets, you'll get abused, harassed, spit on, cursed out. But he says it's part of the shaping process, the molding, making you into the man or woman that I need you to be. You need to be tough. You need to be able to handle adversity. He says, but when you do, I'll be there with you. Remember those words, because adversity, troubles, difficulties will absolutely, positively come your way. But don't think that means God's abandoned you and left you off on your own. It just means he needs to use this to toughen you up, to shape you, to mold you. But he'll be with you there. He'll send a gust of wind and sweep away that spit so it won't get you in the face, but safely on your shirt instead. He is good. He'll be with you in tough times. Don't ever forget that. This has been Rabbi Ron in the house.